Hello and welcome to this video in which we'll be looking at the solution of an LRDI set from CAT 2025 slot 1. This was a set on a train traveling between some stations. So what this set actually says is that if you read the set from the very beginning very carefully, it says that the train is traveling between station A and station E. And in between, there is stops at B, C, and D. So people who are getting on a particular station can buy a ticket to any of the subsequent stops. So a person who is getting on the train at A can buy a ticket to B or C or D or E. Person who is getting onto the train at B can buy a ticket to C, D or E, and so on and so forth. A few bits of information that's been given above the clues. Even before we look at the clues, few bits of information that we need to focus upon is that the total capacity of the train, seating capacity of the train is 200. So maximum of 200 people can be seated inside the train at any station. Next, they have defined something called an occupancy factor, which is nothing but the percentage of 200 seats that has been occupied in a particular section, in a particular segment. So segment is between B to C. When the train is traveling between B to C, then what is the occupancy percentage? When it is traveling from C to D, then what is the occupancy percentage? So that is a percentage of the total number of seats that has been occupied. That is occupancy factor. Again, the total number of seats reserved for each segment cannot exceed 200. So again, that's been said before that the seating capacity is 200. They are not having any waitlisted candidates, any RAC candidates. So no one is traveling beyond the capacity. Everyone has got a seat. That is the basic instructions of the set. Followed by which there are 6 clues. Now we will discuss these 6 clues in a greater amount of detail in the subsequent slides. But before that, the most important clue to focus upon, even before we start making the table, is the 6th clue. The 6th clue says the number of tickets booked for any segment was a multiple of 10. Now, that's extremely important for us to understand because that means that at any point of time on the train, number of passengers who are sitting in the train are a multiple of 10. So it can be either 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60. That's great. That's excellent. Which means that there are only 20 different numbers of occupancy possible. If you count 0, then 21. Okay. So 20 different numbers of occupancy only possible. So it's not like there can be 176 passengers, 172 passengers. No, it's not possible. So which means that occupancy factor in any segment has to be a multiple of 5 because there are 200 seats. Let's say 170 people are sitting in the train. 170 people is actually an occupancy of 85%. Right. So the percentage occupancy will be a multiple of 5. The number of people who are sitting inside the train in any segment will be a multiple of 10. So we don't have to worry about any other numbers when it comes to number of people who are sitting in the train. And plus tickets bought also are multiples of 10. So say number of people who bought the ticket between A to B can either be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and so on and so forth. Right? If this is clear, then with this understanding to solve this particular set, I believe the most convenient way to do that is to draw 2 tables. So one table in which I'm going to be making a note of how many tickets have been booked for every segment. So I have kept in the column, in the first column, the from station, and in the first row, the to station. So I've got here A to B, B to C, sorry, A to C, A to D, A to E. Similarly, next, I've got here B to D, B to C, B to D, B to E, and so on and so forth. And second table that I've got is I have created a table to make a note of the occupancy factor, as well as the total number of people who are seated in the train during a particular segment of the journey. Okay. Now, a few things have been given to us in the clues itself, which I made a note of. For example, clue 2 has been taken care of. Clue 2 says exactly 40 tickets are booked from B to C, which I made a note of here. And 30 tickets are booked from B to E. So that also I have made a note of here. Next, we have also been told in clue number 5 that no tickets were booked from A to B, B to D, or D to E. So number of tickets which have been booked from A to B is 0, B to D is 0, and D to E is 0. That also I have made a note of. Now coming to the first clue. Clue number 1 says that segment CD had an occupancy factor of 95%, which I made a note of here. C to D has an occupancy factor of 95%, which means 95% of the seats were taken when the train was traveling between C to D. And 95% of the total, of course, is a total of 190 seats. So 190 seats have been occupied. If I read further in clue number 1, it says only B to C had a higher occupancy factor. Now see, occupancy factor has to be a multiple of 5. Only multiple of 5 which is higher than 95 as a percentage is 100. So which means occupancy factor for B to C has to be 100%. 100% of the seats have been occupied. during the segment from B to C, which means total number of seats occupied from B to C has to be 200. This also we can conclude from clue number 1. So just by focusing on clue 1, 2, and 5, we have made a note of this data. Let us concretize this. Let me once establish these things. If these are clear, we'll establish these things. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at clue number 4. 4 says the number of tickets booked from A to C was equal to that from A to E. So I've taken the tickets from A to C and A to E as X and X respectively. Plus, it has been told to me that in the clue that this was higher than the number of tickets that were booked from B to E. I know B to E total number of tickets booked is 30. So I can say the value of X has to be greater than 30. So that is how I am taking care of clue number 4. Next clue that I'm focusing on here is clue number 3. That was also a clue left for us to consider. 3 says, among the seats reserved on segment D to E. So from D to E, people who are traveling from D to E. Now, who are traveling from D to E? People who have booked tickets from A to E. They are in the train during the segment D to E. People who have booked the ticket from B to E are also in the train during the segment from D to E. And people who have booked the tickets from C to E. And people who have booked the tickets from D to E. All these people are in the train in the segment from D to E. And question number 3 says that exactly 4/7 of these people had booked their tickets before station C, which means number of tickets booked from A to E and B to E put together is 4/7 of the total number of seats occupied between D to E, which means C to E and D to E tickets were the remaining 3/7. I know that remaining D to E seats is 0. So no one is traveling from D to E. So which means number of people who are traveling from D to E, who are in the train from D to E, 3/7 of them have booked their tickets from C to E. So I have considered Y as the total number of people inside the train during the segment between D to E. So total number of people in that train in that segment is Y. 3/7 of whom have booked their ticket from C to E. That's what I have made a note of here. Now, once I understand this, I can now easily predict that the value of Y has to be either 70 or 140. Why? Because I know that every one of these occupancies has to be a multiple of 10. And if I want to find out 3/7 of a number or 4/7 of a number, that number has to be divisible by 7 also, because people cannot be in fractions. So that number, the number of people traveling or present in the train in the section between D to E, are a multiple of 7 and a multiple of 10, which means they're a multiple of 70, and there are only 2 multiples of 70 within 200, which is 70 or 140, which means the value of Y can either be 70 or 140. This is the most crucial piece of deduction that we have to do to solve the set. If this has been deduced, from here the set becomes extremely simple. It becomes a cakewalk. Okay. Next, what I also want to focus upon, now that we have looked at clues 3 and 4, next what I want to focus upon is the fact that occupancy percentage between B to C is 100. Right? So B to C, people who are sitting in the train between B to C have either begun their journey from A or begun their journey from B. The number of people who have begun their journey from B is 40 plus 30, 70. So remaining 130 people who are on the train from B to C should have booked their ticket from A. And I know that A to B people is 0. So which means no one is getting off at station B. Everyone who is getting onto the train from A is traveling at least till C. So 70 people have booked their ticket from B who will be definitely in the train between B to C. The rest are the ones who have all booked their tickets from A. So which means 130 people, the remaining 130 people must have booked their tickets from A. So A to C plus A to D plus A to E has to be 130. That means the occupancy percentage during the segment A to B has to be 65%. Right. So with this being clear, now what we'll do is we will use the two possibilities of Y to do trial and error. So Y's value can either be 70 or 140. So let us try and see if value of Y as 70 is possible. When I take value of Y as 70, then I know that C to E, number of people who have booked the tickets from C to E, will be 70 into 3 by 7, which will be equal to 30. Now 30 people are passengers from C to E. And number of people in the train from D to E is 70, right? That's what I have assumed, the value of Y as. So number of people in the section from D to E is 70. So remaining 40 people must have booked their tickets from A to E plus B to E. Now I know B to E already 30 people have booked their tickets. So B to E 30 people have booked the tickets, then 10 people would have had to book their tickets from A. Only then the total occupancy between D to E will be a total of 70 people. Right? So then 10 people from A to E, 30 people from B to E, 30 people from C to E makes a total occupancy 70. But we know that the value of X has to be greater than 30. And according to this calculation, I'm getting the value of X as 10, which is not possible. And that means that our assumption is wrong. The assumption that number of people from D to E 70 is incorrect. So 70 is not possible. Only possibility is 140. So 140 people are in the train traveling from D to E, which I can make a note of in the second table, 140 people here. So which means occupancy percentage during the section D to E is 70. 70% of the seats are occupied. Which means this number should not be 30. It should instead be 3 by 7 into 140, which will make this number 60. So if this number is 60, total people in the train between D to E is 140. That means that remaining 80 people have to come from A to E or B to E. So remaining 80 people, out of that 30 are here. So which means the remaining 50 have traveled from A to E. I know A to B, A to E and A to C tickets are equal. So this should be 50. And I know total occupancy from A to B is 130. So the remaining 30 people must have booked the tickets from A to D. So let's concretize this as well. Once this has been concretized, now we are left with only people traveling from C to D. And figuring that out is very easy, that who are traveling from C to D, because again, I will make a note of this here, that 140 seats are occupied, 70% is occupancy percentage from D to E. Now see, from C to D, 190 people were traveling. That number becomes 140. So which means some people would have gotten off at D, some people would have gotten on in D, and all that put together makes the occupancy when the train is leaving D as 140. So how many people got off at D? Everyone who has traveled from A to D, B to D, and C to D, who have tickets from A to D, B to D, C to D, these people would have gotten off at station D. And number of people who have booked the tickets from D to E would have gotten on. Now see, no one is getting on the train at station D because B to B tickets are 0. People are only getting off. How many people are getting off? The number of people in the train goes down from 190 to 140. So 50 people have deboarded the train, out of which 30 had a ticket from A to D. 0 people had a ticket from B to D. So remaining 20 people must have had a ticket from C to D. So everyone who has booked a ticket from C to D would have also deboarded the train at D. So 20 people must have deboarded the train having a ticket from C to D. Remaining 30 people had a ticket from A to D. So that means our tables are now completely filled. That's it. Now the questions are very simple to solve because you solved the entire set. Now the answers are very simple. First question is, what was the occupancy factor for the segment from D to E? So from D to E, occupancy factor was 70%. You have written there. In fact, if you read the set carefully, you can easily eliminate options 2 and 4. Occupancy percentage has to be a multiple of 5. So we know that 2 and 4 cannot be the correct answer even before we solve the set. So answer for question number 1 of the set is 70%. Question number 2 says how many tickets were booked from station C. So from station C, total number of tickets booked were C to D and C to E, which is total of 80 tickets. Okay. I missed another question here. Sorry. Question 2 is how many tickets are booked from station A to station E. So say station A to station E, total number of tickets booked is 50. So that we have here. Then how many tickets are booked from station C? Answer is 80. Then next question is, what is the difference between number of tickets booked to station C and the number of tickets booked to station D? So booked to station C means that is A to C plus B to C. So A to C plus B to C is 90. And number of tickets booked to station D is 30 plus 20, which is 50. So 90 minus 50, 40 will be the answer to this question. And last question of the set is how many tickets were booked to travel exactly one segment. Exactly one segment means A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to E. Out of which A to B and D to E are 0. Only B to C and C to D we have to add. That is 40 plus 20, 60 tickets are booked for exactly one segment. So these are the answers to the 5 questions of the set. And overall, I believe that the set was doable. Were there easier sets than this? Yes, there were. Maybe that DI set in this slot of the paper was easier than this. Definitely the arrangement set, the circular arrangement set, the movement of the people in the clockwise and the anti-clockwise direction, that set was easier than this. But I would not be, I would not say that people are wrong if they pick this up as a second set, second most easiest set in the slot to solve. Second most easiest set is either the DI set or this set, depending upon whether you can easily grasp the set or not. There is only one point of inflection where I felt that people get stuck a lot, which is the value of Y, which is the number of people who are sitting in the train from D to E can either be 70 or 140. I think if that gets figured out, everything else in this set is pretty average in terms of difficulty, pretty average in terms of the kind of clues which have been given, very standard in terms of a lot of LRDI sets that we practice in order for preparation for the CAT paper. Thank you.